Now we're making beats.
Yes, all day, every day. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Unscripted Podcast. All Talk. I am one of your hosts, Sam Legacy Mo Weta. And my other host, GQ and the God, is not here. Unfortunately, he's not feeling well. My other host, DJ MVP, is also, getting that money. So if you guys ever need a DJ, make sure you hit up Mr. DJ MVP, the God himself. So it is a pleasure and an honor to have these two amazing young women here. The health coaches of the century, So we have Eugenia and Gena.
Hi.
Hey.
So please tell the world, first and foremost, your social media handles, because, that's the age we in right now. You got to tell them that.
Yeah. Go ahead. You go first.
Okay, so on Instagram, it's at BP Fit Coaching, and then my other Instagram is at CoachB_Bradshaw4.
And you?
Gena?
And my name is Gena, so you can find me at Gena Bishaw, so GenaBshaw, and then my other handle is at Holistic HP.
Dope. Thank you for all the people that are tuning in on the IG, on the Facebook, the YouTube, the everything else, and so forth. So I'm going to get right into it like we always do. What made you guys take this approach? What made you say, hey, we want to be fit for the rest of our lives. We want to be slim and sexy. We want to show the six pack whenever we go anywhere and teach the world, yes, and eat healthy and all that good stuff. What made y'all do that?
This is a story. Why don't you start?
I'll start because that's where it started.
Okay.
I don't think it was a decision. I think it just was a lifestyle.
Okay.
Growing up, I come from first generation Italian, so brought up in a real healthy household as far as the way we ate, nothing in cans or jars, everything from the
garden.
garden.
Do you speak Italian? Sorry to cut you off.
I did, but I don't use it anymore, so I can understand my father.
So if I say tu sei a mia bella rosa, you wouldn't know what that means.
You are a beautiful rose, yes.
Yes, very good. Hand claps. Hand claps.
Hand claps for you. That was really good.
All right, go ahead. Continue. So I
was brought up like that, come from a family of 5, hardworking, whatever. And growing up and then having my own family, it was just ingrained in me. That's how I want to bring up my kids. I don't think it was a thought, because that's just how it made me feel healthy, made me feel good. So I cook all the time. My kids are lucky that way. My father was in the restaurant business, so everybody knows how to cook.
Okay.
And everybody's a food critic, by the way, in my family.
Yeah.
So all 5 of my kids, and I think that's really important to teach your kids how to cook. They're all comfortable in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So food-wise, we try and eat whole foods, all that kind of stuff. As far as the physical end of it, both my husband and I were student athletes.
Okay. What sport you play?
Track and field.
All right.
And then after college, I did a little bodybuilding thing just because I wanted to continue to compete. And then when I met my husband, he was doing triathlons, and I was like, oh, I can do that. So then we did a bunch of triathlons and competed in that for a while. Then
Wait. Both were also nationally ranked, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, big shit out to you, Gena. She's like, listen, we're going to talk about my mom and dad, all right? We ain't going to exclude that part,
I'm just
all right? Just quotations, let you know. But go ahead.
And then you put that in the past, and it's all about them now. And they all, luckily, we were blessed. They're all student athletes, all 5 of them, all through high school and college. And so encompassing the physical and the as far as the athletic and the holistic, like the food and all that.
Okay.
Trying to keep them away from, all the, when I cooked, all the preservatives and all that kind of stuff. It was just a holistic type of just because that's the way I was brought up, and that's how I wanted to raise my kids. And also, they were all athletic, thank God, because there's 3 boys and 2 girls, and they had a lot of energy.
What other sports did they play?
Well, every one of them. So the 3 boys.
Yeah, we played a lot of sports.
All played football in
what
high
positions?
School. Receiver, linebacker.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they also played lacrosse. Nicholas midfielder. Anthony Tucker
Defense.
was attack. No, he was defense or attack. No, he was attack.
Attack.
Yeah, he was attack. And then Rafali was all football, and he's He was put in the draft pool for the XFL, so he's still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my youngest is still playing football at WestCon, and then my daughter Annalisa, she played soccer.
Okay.
And Gena ran track and field. I was like, yes, I got a track and field.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
they played multiple sports during high school and growing up because I think that's really important for athleticism. And just overall, I think it makes them more well-rounded. And then in college, they obviously, as they got older, they specialized. But being athletic, and then I've always been in the health and fitness field. So is my husband. I've been in this field for about 35 years. We started in the city in Manhattan. It started at a place called Sports Training Institute on East 49th. So I'm really dating myself. Did the one-on-one, did group fitness, moved to Long Island. Gena actually was born in the city, had her when I was when we lived in the city for 10 years, and it just got too friggin' expensive. I was like, okay, we're out. Moved back to Long Island and then had 4 more kids. But was still working in the city and Long Island. But after my 4th kid, I can actually remember this, walking up the stairs, the subway stairs on East, was it 53rd? What in Lex? And I'm like, I was pregnant. I was like, I am not doing this anymore. I was with my 5th one. And so then I transitioned to Long Island and, did, just because I had kids and still being in the business, I kept reinventing myself because I needed to work and I wanted to work. So I did the one-on-one, I did classes, I worked in PT places, whatever I could.
Okay.
And all of that actually helped me where I am today, because when you reinvent yourself and you're in different stages of life, you learn new things and it enables you to become more well-rounded. So it helped me as far as because I coach high school track and field, as far as our family business. We do one-on-one, we do group fitness, we do nutritional coaching.
Okay.
And I think it's a life of just being in that field in different areas and keeping updated and continually educating myself, getting, every time I was always getting a new cert, and I still try and do that. And having brought them up in that atmosphere, which led to where she is in her journey as far as fitness and her holistic, performance. Her own company now was, I think the way we got here was just, it wasn't forced. It was just something that we did.
Okay. So it was ingrained in the DNA.
It was just a way.
DNA.
It's just a way of life. It's nothing. The why is because I love it and it gives me joy, and it gives me joy to help. It gives me joy coaching high school track and field. It gives me joy helping clients get to whatever their goal is, helping them lead a healthier life. Because honestly, if we don't take care of our health, I don't care how much money you have, you got nothing.
That's the
imagine
truth.
all the money in the world and you feel like crap. What do you got?
Yeah.
A new wheelchair? I don't know.
It's
Not a
true.
wheelchair.
Right? Because you can buy yourself a wheelchair for something to push you around because you can't move, right?
Oh,
if you
man.
If you don't move, if you don't move it, you lose it. I feel so passionate about it because people just, you get out of college, you get a job, and then you just kind of give up. And I just think life just keeps us so busy, and people they just throw it away, and then they start eating like fast food.
They
and
give
year
up.
by year, they give up, and they just lose it. And I think they're habits that we need to create when we're younger and continue. And I think it starts in the home.
No, that's a
That's
fact.
why.
That's
Yeah,
definitely
right?
a fact. I mean, to play devil's advocate with the fast foods and everything else, not like I'm sponsoring McDonald's.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like let me just put that out there.
Please,
Okay.
please, please no.
It's more along the lines of just like, at least for New York, you know what I mean? I'm a single dad and I cook mainly like lots of carbs,
Right.
pasta,
What's easier?
rice,
Yeah.
chicken. That's not, well, chicken's not carb, but you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
easier. But sometimes it's like, man, I got to be at the office. Angelina, what do you want? Can you get me Chick-fil-A with fries and mac and cheese and a lemonade? So it's like,
Yep.
but I think the dynamic, luckily that, you have both you and your husband, you
Right.
know what I mean? So it's like, if you're not there, then maybe he can take
Right.
that role and everything else and
Right.
so forth. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No,
I'm
but
not
I'm
saying
saying
like,
that
hey,
was
No,
that
you
was
know.
like a treat for us growing
That was
up.
a treat.
Okay.
I didn't go to. I mean, we weren't allowed fast food, so my mom would sneak us out once in a while. I don't think I had it till I was in high school.
Okay.
So she didn't have to cook. But I'm saying not eat like that all the time. I mean, do I eat junk? Yeah. I
Yeah.
love Mexican. That's my
Yeah.
I love Mexican and tequila. And
This is true.
this is true. But I'm saying if you're eating good 80% of the time, you're okay. You're pretty
Yeah.
good. I mean, giving kids, knowing if kids know the difference between, okay, McDonald's is a treat and we're not gonna live on that.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's okay. I mean, they know that, and they know, well, if I eat like crap, I'm gonna feel like crap.
Yeah.
And to be honest, as you get older too, like your taste buds change when you develop and you eat healthy. So fast food to me doesn't taste good.
No, that's the truth. I mean, for me, like with water, like a lot of stuff that I used to love, like I love fruit punch Snapple. Love.
To take you
Right.
back to a time you
But-
were
Childhood.
happy.
But the crazy thing is that, like, I don't know if they changed the formula, but like it just feels too sweet now.
They probably
so
did.
You know?
They
And it's
probably
like,
did.
man, can you give me more water with the sugar? Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's a little crazy. But my real question for you is, dealing with 5 different personalities, because that's always something unique. Like, was there any one of your children you were like, Tommy over here? Sorry to put on my fake Italian accent. Tommy over here, he's not moving. He's not moving. What's going on? So did you have like one that you like? Not to like. Maybe I shouldn't have asked
Pull one out?
this.
That's
Yeah,
okay,
you know what I mean?
I
It's like, Mom doesn't like me.
Who
Like,
was troublesome? This one right here.
It depends on the day. I mean, she was
This
so
one.
treated as a teenager. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah.
I love her. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
So
they go
funny.
through stages, and that's the thing. I mean, they're teenagers. Teenagers, it's difficult being a teenager, but it's difficult being a parent as a teenager. But I also think that helped me as a coach because I deal with the head coach at Holy Trinity. Shout out Titans. With all boys, they don't. I said to them the other day, "You guys don't bother me. I got 3 boys. I don't care." But I'm saying I think that they each go through stages. Did I have some of them that were easy and the other? Yeah.
Okay.
That went. Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But I have to. Can I sidetrack a little bit because
Sure.
Gena had cancer when she was young.
Oh wow.
She
Oh yeah,
was-
that's the other part of the
that's other
story.
Okay, so when you go through something like that, she was 3.5. She was diagnosed with leukemia. I had Nicholas was 17 months old, and I think Raffaele was 2.5 months old.
Okay.
We had just moved into a house, and we finally bought a house, and we just moved in, and she was just diagnosed with cancer. So that was also, and we had already been living a healthy life, and I was like, what the? I was ate organic. I was like, it was like,
Yeah.
it was my, but could I have turned the other one, said, screw that, I'm gonna eat McDonald's, what's the difference? But no, I just kind of made it even more ingrained.
Okay.
So, she went through, it was like a 5-year hell of, watching your child go through chemo.
Yeah.
And then, financially,
Yeah.
I mean, we almost lost our house, but honestly, I could give a crap because we just, as long as my daughter's okay. So you have a 2.5-month-old, you have a, 17-month-old, and you have a 3.5-year-old that's just diagnosed with cancer, and you just moved into a house. Just like, what the hell? Now what do you do? Well, you fight like tooth and nail to get your kid healthy, get the best medical care, and you try your best to take care of the rest of your family.
Yeah.
And that added to my determination or my to try and keep my family as healthy as I can, because you control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
I couldn't control that. And thank God, through the grace of God and through good medical care, she was okay. And then
Yeah.
she actually ended up having cancer again
Wow.
when she was 20, right?
Yeah.
And she had thyroid cancer.
Yeah.
So, but that could have been, sometimes they say it could have been from the chemo or whatever you went through, the first of the radiation. Well, whatever it is, it is. Thankfully, again, she didn't have to have radiation.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, when you compare the two, we were like, okay, it's treatable.
Yeah.
It's okay. We didn't have to go through.
I didn't
any
have to go through chemo. I just had surgery.
She
Yeah.
had surgery. They took out half her thyroid, and like I'm comparing that to the leukemia. I'm like, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's where you've been and what you've been through, and just kind of, was it easy? What do you want your daughter, your son to go through that?
Yeah. God forbid.
Absolutely not. But that, and even after that, you continue your determination to keep your family as healthy and continue, to do the best you can with what you're dealt. So.
Yeah. I've seen something on TikTok, right? This guy who was like, I need to make this clear, right? Like a disclaimer. I'm not advocating for this or saying that this is a life-changing thing, but I just saw this and I wanted to know since you mentioned it.
Okay.
He went to a veterinarian,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff that the dewormer,
Yeah.
he started taking that, and boom.
What, the cure is cancer?
He was like,
Interesting.
they were like, yo, you got 3 months to live. And he went and saw this.
Well, I'm just
and it's
gonna
been on the
say-
news. And like, and it's not
Really?
like I'm not making it up.
No,
Well, okay, so with that, I don't know, but some parasites
yes.
can
Yeah.
cause cancer.
Yeah.
And viruses, and there's something called like bovine leukemia, which is from beef. So like there are these things that you can get from environmental things. So like I'm not surprised. Like
Yeah.
anything is possible, to be
Yeah.
honest.
But that doesn't mean go to the vet and get
Yeah.
tumors, okay?
Yeah, I'm not.
I said, listen, man,
Listen.
I'm not.
I'm gonna beat this. Give me all the dog.
Okay, I'm not telling people, all right, get to your vet
I
and
mean-
get dewormer or take your dog's medication.
You know what I'm saying? I want that
that's,
too.
That's really interesting. I gotta look that up. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It was.
But here's the other thing. So along with like the chemo and all that, you have to live a healthier life. You try and support your body. And people's like, well, you healed yourself because you had the chemo and this, that, and the other thing. Like, first of all, what am I supposed to do? The kid, she's 3.5 years old. What do I know? I got to listen to the doctors, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to all of a sudden give my daughter some kind of holistic that I know nothing about and I have
Yeah.
no research. So I have to do what's handed to me.
Mm.
What I, looked at all the choices, got 3 different opinions, and went with what we thought was the best, best way to cure her.
Yeah.
But that, in addition to that, you support the body in a healthy way by, eating as best you can without all the preservatives, without all the, the junk, eating as holistically as you can, not using all the chemicals in your house, being careful what you put on your body, because all that, I believe,
Yeah.
taxes the body.
It's true. They
Yeah.
just what's that thing I sent you? Laundry detergent.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw that. Was gain.
Yeah.
It was all
Yes.
gain
Yes.
and regular Tide.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I just did laundry. I used Tide OxyClean because I
That's
feel
what I
like my clothes are bright. And it's like, but you know what? Like I thought about it. Like my daughter, she tends to get sick a lot, and now you think about these
Right.
things.
Yeah,
And you're
those
like,
chemicals
you
are
know?
playing on the immune system, and then your body is overloaded with all of those chemicals from skincare, hair products,
Yeah.
clothing, literally everything.
Every
water,
single
water,
thing.
food, and,
And
you're
they say
eating.
it's in safe. Well, it's been tested. It's at a level.
But you-
it all adds up.
Yeah.
Well,
People, it
okay,
all
so
adds
here's
up.
the thing: Europe has
Yeah,
banned
I was just about to
Yeah.
say that.
over 1,200
Europe,
chemicals.
Japan, they don't play no games. But us,
Do you know
we the
how
guinea
many
pigs.
that
Yeah.
we have banned?
None.
11.
Yeah, none.
That's crazy.
That's
None.
it.
They banned like like even stuff. I forgot what kind of chip. I think it was like Pringles, and I love Pringles. My fat girl coming out right now. Just give me a whole can. Just- they banned Pringles, and like I'm like not Pringles, but it's like at the end of the day, like what can you do? So this is now the real conversation.
Yeah.
What can you do? Are you growing your own chickens? Because back then, like even now, TikTok.
I had chickens.
Yeah, like no, seriously, like
no, yeah.
I learned so much about life through TikTok, which is why they're trying to ban it.
Yeah.
I'm watching y'all, but all of a sudden they're saying that the chickens couldn't lay eggs, and the price of eggs done gone up.
Oh, I saw that.
And-
I think it's all a game.
Yeah.
I think it's all a game, and I
Vote
think,
for me for president. I'm tired of this. We're gonna make some real changes.
please. I think it's all a game. I think that a lot of people need to understand that propaganda plays a huge role, marketing plays a huge role. If you think about the food industry and big pharma, they go hand in hand and they always run parallel to each other.
Yeah.
It's a feedback loop. So one feeds the other, vice versa. You're not feeling good. Like, for example, hospital food is garbage, and they're feeding people who are going through chemotherapy and all these other things and heart disease, and they're feeding them, oh yeah, here, have this sloppy joe, oh here, have this brownie. Like, that's not going to help you. Like, they want to comfort you, but at the same time it's like keeping you sick.
Wait, can you say what Nono used to bring you in the hospital?
Oh yeah, so my grandfather, we call him Nono.
Okay.
He would bring me homemade food, and he would bring me lamb and
Fresh mozzarella,
artichokes,
she's in
and
the clinic, and the nurse is like, "Oh, what did Nono bring today?"
Oh.
You know, she was eating like fresh mozzarella, lamb. They're like, "Oh, you can't eat unpasteurized cheese." I'm like, "Oh, she's good. Don't worry about it."
And not to mention, she was also giving me. Oh, so by the way, I'm also an author, so I wrote about this in my book, A Survivor Story.
All right, wait. Before you do that,
Yeah.
let's just put everything on the table.
Yeah, let's just get it out there.
All right. So, author.
Okay, so author and entrepreneur. I'm a holistic health coach. So I
Okay.
created Holistic Human Performance, and I basically bridge the gap between the fitness, the health and fitness, and the spiritual and energetic side. So I'm
So hold on. So you at the gym? You can't do one more. Jesus help me, please, Lord. Yes. Release the demon. No, I'm kidding. But go ahead.
But like, it's really, I'm all about getting to the root of the cause. So for example, I just had a program we just ended. It was called the Cancer Fear Freedom Program.
Okay.
And I want people to understand that you do have the power within you to heal your body.
Yes.
And most of us don't realize that.
Yes.
We're programmed from birth and on, and we are asleep.
Yeah.
So I find that it's like also my mission to help people ignite that in them. And I grew up, literally, my parents are entrepreneurs. We have our family fitness business, Bradshaw Personal Fitness. And I grew up in that environment, and honestly, like, I wouldn't have it any other way. So with that, I started on the health fitness industry. I still coach for our family fitness business, and then I really felt like, okay, there's like more to do here, especially after I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer at age 20. And I'm like, okay, I eat healthy, I am an athlete. I ran track and field. I work out. I don't understand like what's going on here. And that is where I took a deep dive into the human energy system. So,
like chakras and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you have different chakras in your body, around your body. We are energetic beings.
Yep.
And so when we harbor really deep, low vibration emotions, because we are frequency.
Yeah.
And when we harbor those things, our body keeps the score. So, I talk about in my book how I went from, going through cancer at 3.5 years old, my body kept the score for that. And honestly, I think that because I didn't do the healing work earlier, that is what led me to thyroid cancer down the road.
Okay.
And it's interesting because the thyroid is your throat. And that is all about speaking and communicating. And I did not like to talk about my story. Like, I kind of just was like, no, I'm not different. Like, I just said, can I curse? I said, fuck it.
Yeah.
I said, fuck it. And I just like didn't talk about it. I'm normal, whatever. And then I found that, I really needed to take this journey through healing, and writing helped me, and also just taking a deep dive into cancer and the emotional aspect behind it. Every disease has an energetic meaning.
Yeah.
So cancer, just this isn't like the one and only reason, but cancer's energetic meaning is repression of power. So, I'm thinking, okay, I totally repressed myself during so many years of my life, not talking about my story. I'm not saying that's the only thing, but that plays a huge role in developing disease in the body. So yeah, I connect mind, body, and soul healing, whole body health and healing.
It's crazy to like quote two things in the Bible. I think it's John verse 1. So the crazy thing is, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So in a sense, whenever you say certain things, you're creating like, and it's
Law
also
of attraction.
Yeah.
Yep.
So even with that, I think it's Matthew. I don't remember. I'm not Mr. Bible over here.
No, that's fine. I
grew up in the church.
Yeah. I went to Catholic school my whole life.
It was ingrained in me. So, but as a man thinketh, so shall he be. So it's that, manifestation and thinking who you are, and like you said, the power to heal is so powerful. But it's and not to say, but to negate anything you're saying. It's very hard.
It's uncomfortable.
It's very, very hard. How did you guys like deal with that?
I'm going to tell you a story. And if I cry, forgive me.
No problem. I'll cry with you.
Okay. So this was probably, if I'm going to pick the lowest day of my life is when my daughter was, diagnosed with cancer. And there was another one when she was, going through chemo. And if you know anything about cancer, when someone's going through chemo, they have a suppressed immune system. And anytime, especially a child, that they get sick, they get a fever, they have to go to the hospital because their immune system, it's called their ANC, is very low, and it could, like a cold could kill them.
Yeah.
So she pretty much lived in a bubble. We lived in a bubble for a while, but it was all right. So one time she got sick, she had a fever, and she had what's called a Metaport. That's where they administer the chemotherapy because their veins collapsed. Anyway, so we go to the hospital, like, oh, geez. And as a mom, you're like, oh, God, here we go again. Sometimes you just like, you're just tired. You're like, oh, damn it, I got to fucking go to the hospital again.
Yeah.
So you go, and she has a fever, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. She ends up with 104 fever. She ends up in the ICU on a bed, and she was, I guess, 4, I don't even remember. But she had a pacifier in her mouth, and she had the oxygen over her mouth. And she was laying in bed, and the doctors were around, and her blood pressure was like, I don't know, 80 over 30 something. And the doctors are like, oh, we have to, obviously stop the chemo. And everybody was like standing around the bed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I remember my father was there. My brother was on his knees. My brother's very, very spiritual. He was on his knees praying. My father was, I was like, I didn't cry because I was like, I just went up to her ear and I said, Gena, I said, you're going to be okay. I said, Blessed Mother's watching out for you. And I could just feel her presence. And I said, you're going to be okay. And one of the worst things was that is when you're in ICU or PICU, it's called pediatric intensive care unit. You're not allowed to stay in there past 11 o'clock. The nurses were phenomenal, like unbelievable. They're unbelievable. And so we had to leave, and I stayed at the Ronald McDonald House, another phenomenal organization. And the nurse was like, we're going to call you, that you just couldn't stay there. And it was right next to the hospital because you can't go home. And I remember that it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and they called me, and because we didn't think she was going to make it. And I think we talked about this before. Thank God she doesn't remember it. And the nurse said she took a turn. I think she's going to be okay, because we didn't think she was going to make it. And I was holding one of my good friends, Greg, had given her all these stuffed animals. It was a Dalmatian dog, and I just held it with me. And I was like, oh my God. And the next day, I went to the Ronald McDonald. I hadn't eaten in days or whatever. And, you go back and forth. And I went to the Ronald McDonald's house, and I was just there by myself. And these poor kids, they volunteered to give out food, And I'll never forget it. I just sat there, and one of the high school kids put a thing of lasagna in me. I just broke down, hysterical crying, tears in lasagna. I'm like, and I'm just like hysterical crying. And I just felt like that was like everything coming out. It was just part of the process. And then I had a very good friend who's still one of my best friends, Marie. And her daughter, I met her in the hospital. Her daughter, Nicole, had gone through, she was like 6 months ahead of Gena as far as her chemo. It's amazing. It's just really weird how you meet people.
Yeah.
I think you meet people and they're there to take you through a journey and to help you. It's just amazing. And I called her because it's weird and it's funny because it's hard to talk to people about it because even though people want to say the right thing, they don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault because you have this, this mother who's just breaking it, crumbling inside, and I have 2 other young kids, and I don't know, I want to unzip my skin and get out and run away, but you can't. I have to be there, and I have to do what I need to do to get my daughter better. And I'm like, Marie, I can't. I'm just sobbing. She goes, okay, enough. Snap out of it. You got over this? Like, if she was there, she would smack me in the face. She's my paisan. So she goes, get over it. She's good. She's going to be all right. You got the next hurdle. So just getting through those things and dealing, you need people like that to help you get through that. And like what I learned and the people that I'm so grateful to that had helped me through that. But believe me, I was freaking crumble inside. I was like held by a thread.
Yeah.
And then after the fact, and this is when you're dealing if you're friends with anybody who's going through stuff like that, you don't sometimes, like I said, you don't know what to say, but I'll tell you what you can do or say.
Yeah.
You know, going through that for the next years, I was angry. I was pissed. Why my daughter, like, you know, I didn't say that out loud. I'm supposed to be buying, you know, books for her to go to school. Why is she suffering? You know, you go through all that. You go through your angry acceptance and then grateful for so many wonderful people that helped me and my family and all that.
Yeah.
And then, like, Marie was like my rock.
Yeah.
To go through that because she was ahead of me. And her daughter actually got cancer again, even worse. She got a relapse, but thank God she's okay. But when you're dealing with that and how you get through it, it's with the support, and you have to accept support from people because you're so fragile. It's so hard. It's especially when you have other kids. And people will say, oh, what can I do? And you say, oh, nothing, but things that you can do. You can just listen to them. You know, if I'm a pissy ass mood, I get it. I mean, I don't understand, but it's okay. You can unload or, you know, drop. I remember little things like my cousins just dropping off ice cream in the freezer. Like, that's so nice.
No, it is.
Know what I mean?
It is.
Like,
I mean,
little things like that, dropping a meal off, something like that, or picking the other kids up to take them out, because then my other two kids are just
distracted.
You know, because they're young, and thank God they don't remember it.
Yeah.
So people just listening to you, giving you a ride, you know, even getting back and forth to the hospital. I remember driving, not knowing where the hell I was going, you know, because you spend hours and days at the hospital. So you need a support system. You can do it alone if you have to because it's your child. But then after you're going to suffer, because I never had anxiety. I was like, no, you just did what you had to do, right? But then like a year after or so, because that's the really tough time, because you're worried about them relapsing because they're tested every 3 months. You're like, oh my God. It's just, it's unbearable because you can't even fathom your child going through that again. Oh, please, dear Lord, let them be okay. So that's a lot. But after that, during that time, I can remember driving, and all of a sudden my throat's closing. I'm feeling, and what the hell? It happened a few times. I went to the hospital, and after a while, my husband's like, go take a freaking shower. You just have an anxiety. Just stop. But, you know, you have that, and it's all stuff that's after, like she talks about, all that being repressed, and you don't want to talk about it because it's too hard. It's too
to relive.
raw.
It's painful.
And, you know, I ended up with like a Hashimoto's thyroid disease, whatever. But I was going through that when she got diagnosed. I remember going to the doctor, and I'm like, what is it? I couldn't move. I just felt like crap. Oh, you're tired. And they're like, oh, we think you have thyroid cancer. You need to take a radioactive isotope. I'm like, no, I don't. And if I take that, I can't go near my daughter. So I got a second opinion. It was whatever, Hashimoto's, and just maintain it with Synthroid. But I'm saying things like that, and I think that would I have gotten it? Maybe not. But I feel like my body was just so stressed and so inflamed internally. You don't take care of yourself because I'm not the priority. My kids are priority. So if there's any way that you can have someone to help you take care of yourself in some simple way, take it and allow it. And people who are on the other side, you know, they may resist it, but they need it. It's just getting through that wall, because it's a tough wall, because you don't want to even admit it or talk about it. It's hard. Like, I couldn't even say the word. It was so hard to say the word cancer. Like, it's when it's concerning your child. It's
No. I mean, listen, if my man DJ MVP, who's normally here with my other host, he would have had the music ready. He would have had the music ready. He would have been like, we all need somebody to lead.
That's exactly
on.
right.
So,
Sing it. It's not.
you know.
I mean, I remember going to church. It was. I was gonna go to confession or something. I just sat there, walked to the priest. I just started bawling. I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. You just like bawl.
Yeah.
And you try and get away, and you try and be strong, but you know.
It gets to a point where
it's
you
hard.
basically have to face it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Because otherwise, it just comes around in patterns throughout your life. And that's where the energetic piece comes into it. And it's just like, okay, what is the lesson here? What is it do I need to learn in order to move on to this next level version of myself? Shed this old version of me and just move it on.
Yeah.
I think her healing has helped me heal.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I could never even tell that story before.
Yeah.
I couldn't verbalize it. It was too hard.
When I first started writing my book, she was like, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I didn't even tell anyone I was writing a book. I just did it. And blood, sweat, and tears were put into
What's
that
the name of the book?
A Survivor's Story, a holistic healing journey through cancer.
Can we get this on Amazon?
Yes, you can in Audible, Barnes
at
and
that.
Noble, anywhere books are sold.
Look at that. Here at Unscripted, we make sure that we promote.
It's true. When she said that, when she first told me she was writing it, it was very uncomfortable for me. I was like, oh, no, I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there.
Yeah.
But her healing and her talking about it has definitely helped me.
Yeah.
You know?
And now I'm on to book number 2.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That is so dope.
We just want to teach people and just educate them. You know, we just have a unique story. Everybody has a story, but that is why, going back to your question in the beginning, like that is why we are in the health, fitness, and wellness industry, because it is essential. And for me, I'm not even willing to risk that. You know, it's like, are you going to live or are you going to die? And you better make that choice. And then also it's like, do you trust your body? So having to learn that and trusting my body, and, you know, I became Reiki certified and energetic healings, and just merging all of these things together and creating something for the people, because also this is what I did to heal. So I'm just showing people, hey, this is what I did to feel better. Okay. Maybe this might make you feel better as well. Yeah. And so far it's helped a lot of people. So
I think that like what we've been through as a family, as far as our journey, you know, what, you know, her with her cancer journey and everything, all us together, I think it's one of the reasons why I love to coach, especially teenagers. And because I think all of that, the cumulative, like having my 5 kids and, you know, bringing them up through those years. And I just have like, I told Gena, I think it's one of my superpowers. I think connecting with kids and helping them, because I've been coaching high school track and field for like 16 years. And I just feel like it's really hard for teenagers. And I think especially the last couple of years, just the you know, just the climate, our environment, everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
It's confusing. Communicating, knowing, you know, I don't think kids are as tough as they were, because
not at all.
No,
is it me?
They're soft,
super soft,
with a capital off. Soft.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And that's why we coach. We coach people so that they can become tougher and they can have, you know, thicker being stronger. That's really what it comes down to. Like, are you strong mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and energetic?
Even my kids say, oh my God, these kids are soft. And my kids aren't that old. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought it was just me because I'm older.
No, they're all very soft feelings, and
too many feelings. You gotta talk about everything.
Yeah, and it's like, look,
what?
You know,
boys be boys.
You know, even with my daughters, I let them know, like, listen, I'm human. So if I say some shit that's gonna hurt your feelings, you're gonna have to deal with it. Yeah. Cause you gonna only have one father. That's me. You stuck. Yeah. You stuck. The hell can you do? You stuck. You know, and if I'm out of line, I'll gladly apologize. But I think
we're human.
You know, we're in a society, unfortunately, where everybody's putting on a facade of trying to be perfect.
Right. And perfection does not exist.
We're perfectly imperfect is what we are.
And you know, you have the social media, people trying to portray the perfect life, that they're winning, that they're happy, and da-da-da-da-da. And like for example, we always talk about TikTok. Shout out to TikTok. There's one woman, she was on there, mind you, she has like, I think like 20,000 followers, right? And she's crying. She's like, I haven't been held. I haven't been told I'm beautiful. I immediately went in the comments like, bitch, you got 20,000 followers. You be okay. Have a good night. You know, I'm not gonna feel sympathy for somebody who got 20,000 followers. The fuck?
Well, also I think people.
I think as parents we need to be a little tougher, right?
I think, you know, for me with mines, I let my daughter know, like, and I speak to her all the time. I say, listen, I'm preparing you for life. I may go. I'm not going to give you no sense of false hope, no sense of whatever. Life is brutal. Life is harsh. Life is this. So I'm going to give it to you raw.
Yeah.
So if you can't get it from the source who's your father, I'm setting you up for failure. No, this is not how life works. This is not how, so she was like, Dad, so if I'm 20 and you charge me rent? Yes. Yes. You know why? Not because I want your money. Has nothing to do with that. But the fact that I'm bringing you to the office, I'm
Set
making
you up for life.
You know, I'm teaching you about managing money. I'm giving you all these books.
Yeah.
You're seeing what your dad is going through.
Yeah.
And if you haven't figured it out by 20, go get a job and pay me.
Yeah.
For the time that was wasted.
Yeah.
I'm in your ear every day.
Well,
like,
I
you know.
think that's why it's important. I think that's why it starts at home. Us
Yeah,
as parents.
the
Yes.
parents.
Kids, like, they all can cook a meal. They all have chores. You know, now
Yeah.
I'll sit back. I'm like, who's doing this? Who's doing that?
Yeah.
You know, they have to be responsible. We got to be a little tough on them. We got to allow them to fail. They're tough
Yeah.
on each other. I could sit back and they'll, you know, just go at each other.
Yeah.
Like,
My
good. They'll
brothers
hold each
and
other.
I used to do like WWE
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Nah.
no joke.
It was bad for my siblings as
Yeah.
well. I
Yeah.
mean,
But we have to as parents. I think it's our responsibility, because if we're just like, you know, give them a freaking award for every freaking thing they do. Oh, you did one. No, you didn't do
Yeah,
so good.
you
You're
didn't.
Yeah.
responsible.
You got to
wanna
keep
be-
it real.
Like
Yeah.
with sports, that's why I mean, all our kids were on teams. If you sucked, what did you do everything? What? You played like crap?
Yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah. Okay, you need to
you
get some
know,
extra
like,
training.
I'm not saying you tear someone down. You're doing the best like you can. What, you're gonna miss practice? Okay, then you don't get on the field. I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
on you.
Yeah.
You have to. If you make a commitment, if you start something, if you join, you're going.
Yeah.
End of
Yeah.
story. I don't want to hear anything else.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's it's not like, oh, you're crazy. No, it's not that. We never even talked to the freaking coaches of whatever team they were on.
Yeah.
But it's that you're committing to a team. That's a commitment, right?
Yeah.
And with commitment comes hard work. And then you see the rewards of what you worked for.
Yeah.
You don't just get it. It's not handed to you. You got to work for it.
Exactly.
you gotta
That's an
work hard.
example.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's why, like, what she's doing, she's working her butt off for her writing, her own company, everything.
And it's ironic because when I was younger, obviously after I got out of, treatment and I started going back to school, I was not able to read. And ironically enough, I write books. So
I brought her back to school, and I Sister Marie Patrick. No, we may have to keep her back. She's second grade. She didn't really read. I was like, at that point, you think I give a crap if she reads? She's here.
Yeah.
You know?
you're
So-
the teacher. That's what you're for.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean,
But-
I think a lot of it starts at home, and I think it's us as parents. I mean, is it easier to order out? I'm just using that as another example.
Of course.
Yeah, of course it is. I'm freaking
Yeah.
tired. I worked.
Yeah.
I don't want to cook. But you know what? I take the time to go shopping, put food in the fridge, and so I have something and I'm
Yeah.
ready. So
Yeah.
that's another thing we do. We do nutrition coaching online, and we teach people how to take care of their health through food. We're doing actually a nutritional seminar, a webinar on the 28th.
Okay.
Yeah, it's on. Actually, there's a link on our on BP Fit Coaching on Instagram. It's performance nutrition for student athletes. It's for students. It's for athletes. It's for coaches. How to teach them to eat, because I was just up at nationals with my team, like 14 kids in Boston. They're a bunch of talented kids, but you see firsthand how they eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And,
not cute.
I get teenagers.
Let me get the fries supersized.
It's not
me-
cute.
No, you
me
know
get
what they
that.
love? And I said these gummies, these gummy bear things. They're like
Sour
it's
Patch Kids.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, that is not a food group.
Yeah.
So I mean, things like that to teach them, and I talk to them constantly about that. But they still, and they don't have to eat. They're kids,
Yeah.
But youth is forgiving for that. But it does
Catch up to
it
you.
could-
Oh,
it
yeah.
catch- That's why it's important to teach them. That's why I'm so motivated. I'm like, listen, guys, you gotta listen.
Yeah.
You need to take care of your health now, because what you do now is going to show up in 5-10 years, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
So-
Angelina and Giselle, y'all listening? Remember 5 years? I told y'all,
That's right.
if y'all focus, in 5 years, you could be a millionaire.
That's right.
You guys are 14 and 16 in 5 years. I told you, Daddy can't tell you nothing if you're a millionaire. No, I can't say you can't go to Greece. You can go to Greece because you're a millionaire.
Manifest it.
So put it out there.
They don't understand. They don't understand at all.
Yeah.
They don't. All right, so your clients, right? Where are they generally located?
So we, with both businesses, it's hybrid model. So we do online and also
Okay.
in person. In person, we're located in Westbury, or sometimes we travel depending on schedule and stuff.
Okay.
teams, one-on-one partner training, and hybrid model online too.
We're doing a
Okay.
lot of now more sport performance, next level speed,
Okay.
because my son Rafael is involved.
Yes.
And so we do a lot of individual, all about speed and performance, agility, getting getting athletes ready,
Yeah.
robust athletes, creating them for whatever their sport is.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one-on-one or teams also.
So through Bradshaw Personal Fitness, we deal with adult and athletes. And then for my business, Holistic Human Performance, I deal with people who really have like this, either, someone who's going through cancer, cancer survivor, someone who's scared, maybe genetically predisposed, or people who have hit the end, have hit a wall, and they've been fed up and they're just giving up, and they need help when it comes to overall lifestyle change. So I guide them in that aspect, meditation and things like that.
Mindset.
What's up?
Yeah.
So, do you just meditate, or do you like meditate and say a prayer? Because I'm assuming you're Catholic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I do more meditation, and then I allow and guide that person. Okay, if prayer feels good for you, then go right ahead, and I'll give them some resources where to find.
Okay.
But in terms of spirituality, I think a lot of people also get confused, because spirituality is innate within all of us. It is the spirit within us. It is our soul. And if we're not listening to that, we can live a very unfulfilled life. And religion is made by the people for the people. So in that sense, it's more restrictive and follow these guidelines. If not, you're sinning and all of these things.
Yeah.
And not all are like that, but you can combine the two. And so I'm just guiding you through this process. And why I meditate and teach other people to meditate is, number one, it helped me through my healing journey. And also there is a significant amount of research on the positive influence on meditation and the body and your nervous system, and being able to actually release trauma, transmute trauma or these emotions, and work through whatever you need to work through. And meditation is different for everyone.
Yeah. I mean, even in the
depends.
Bible, for those that are Christian, it tells you to meditate.
Yeah. There's a
and-
theme throughout history, and it's ancient wisdom. Like this is not new. Just
Like
because
the
it's
monks,
trendy.
they just would say the hymns over and over. Or
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
sing or
Chanting.
chanting.
Yeah.
And like I said, like for her, it's a lot easier to meditate. For me, I think it's tough, and I think it's tough for a lot of moms too, when you have a lot on your plate, just to kind of rest and be alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because your
It's
mind
tough.
races.
Very
So
tough.
I take it in very small steps. Like I have some mantras that I say to myself every day. Taking breaths, affirmations.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this whole elaborate, lay down, shut the lights off. It could be 1, 2, 3 minutes, or just something to set yourself. And that's one thing that has helped me a lot. Get your mind, get in a different mindset, because if you're always thinking negative and you're always scared,
It manifests itself.
Yes.
And it's crazy. Negative energy is superiorly stronger than positive energy.
You have over 60,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
So when you think ill thoughts, you become ill. When you think well thoughts, you become well. And we are frequency beings. So you put that out. And remember, again, this goes internal. This is inner work. When you do the inner work, you are a mirror to your external world.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will be in this victim mentality of, why me? Why did this happen?
Yeah.
And listen, like, that's okay. Like we go through that. You're questioning yourself. But it's like, okay, let's get down to the root cause of like why I'm actually feeling this way and being triggered in such a way. Like, what is my body trying to tell me? What is it trying to release, so that you can make space for new and hit new goals and be able to up level?
Yeah.
you have to appreciate the joy in life, because when you're going through, like, I'll refer back to like when we were going through that with her and her cancer, and I remember just being able to, I mean, she was bald and white as the light, I mean, because her counts were very low, but being able to, oh my God, I can get her to the beach. Because she loves we love the beach, the water. It's just a calming effect. And I remember bringing you to Bayville in Oyster Bay. I was like so thankful that I could, the small little things, and just finding thanks and gratitude in those things, and let them just grow in you, because if I just concentrated on the cancer because it was every day, then it just engulfs you, and it's just too much to bear. It's just too much to bear.
Yeah. And entrepreneurship is spiritual.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a
all right, so
spiritual game.
we have 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I don't want to kind of take away anything other than, we got that part of it, but maybe you want to throw some tips out there.
Yeah.
Like, okay, stop the McDonald's, lay off the cheese fries, whatever.
I think the first thing to start with would be, what is your lifestyle like currently, and are you happy with it? And then from there, make a game plan.
Okay.
So I talk about this. In my second book, it's called The Sacred Connection. It will be out probably the end of this year. But I talk about 5 different buckets. Okay. So mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and energetic. Okay. And looking at those 5 buckets, okay, which one is empty? Which one's overflowing? Which one's good? Because that's a domino effect.
Got it.
And then you take it from there. So like nutrition and fitness, that's foundation, and sleep, non-negotiables. Yeah. Right? Then you build, okay, mental and emotional, what's going on there? Then at the top, you have spirituality, what's going on there? Do you believe you just die and that's it? Like it's over, game over. Or do you believe in a higher power? Belief, right? Yeah. And then the energetics is what surrounds and connects all of the buckets. So that's what I would say.
Dope.
I'm going to say that sometimes if you're not in this whole realm or this, this health, fitness, and whatever, it can be very overwhelming for people. And that's why we're here to help somebody.
Guiding.
To guide them. So if I get a new client and they say, and I was talking to one of my clients the other day, they want to lose weight, right? And what they do is they focus on the number. And they focus on what they're not doing. I'm not doing this, not doing that. You start with very simple things. Okay. Do you drink water? Let's nourish your body with water. Yeah. And my whole thing is to look at the whole journey from a health journey. Not to look at it, you're a number. You're not just a number. How do you feel? I was having this discussion with one of my clients. I said, okay, so she was battling coming home from work and she was starving, and she took 45 minutes to talk to herself out of stopping for some fast food, but she didn't stop. I said, instead of looking at, because it would affect the number on the scale, look at the food and when you ingest it and what it's actually doing to your body, how that is made. Is that going to help your health? So looking at it, and I find if you look at food from a health perspective, how is that going to make me feel? Okay. Instead of
is it going to help or is it going to harm?
Yeah. No, of course, once in a while, like I said before, we don't eat perfectly all the time. Nobody does, and that's okay. We don't want to. I think everything in moderation is a good way to look at it. So start small, and a lot of that starts in the home. For a mom, for a dad, if you're a single parent or whatever, I think you have to start in your kitchen. Allow your kids to experience that. Learn how or what to have in there, and the whole. I think the whole experience of creating food together and sitting down and eating it, because we always had a meal together. Yeah. And still to this day, everybody's got different schedules. If someone's not home, we have a group chat. Who's eating? So you leave something in the oven for them, covered, because that's a sign of love, right? Okay, I left you food. It's homemade. Okay, so it's something good that's nourishing your body. So it starts from that, and that's a simple act of, okay, I'm going to start there. Yeah. I'm going to learn how to cook one meal, or I'm going to learn what to keep in my fridge. Yeah. So through our nutrition coaching, all that, we teach people how to do that, because it is overwhelming. Yeah. If you don't come from a background of all nutrition and health and wellness, same thing on your fitness journey. Okay, we're just going to start doing some simple, basic moves. Okay. We're going to start helping you move, and moves that you can use functionally throughout the day. Like, can you get up and out of a chair? That's like a squat, right? Can you lunge down and pick something up? That's or your mom, you got to pick up your baby and carry. Those are basic moves, movement patterns that we work in, that we develop, and then start loading them. So it's all starting to build that foundation, like she said, filling those buckets.
That's dope.
It's very.
You can't build a house without a foundation.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's dope. It's like you're reprogramming them in a sense to just look at things in a different way. That's fire.
Yeah, that's how we do it.
All right, so I'm gonna start with you, Eugenia.
Yes.
Please give your website. if you're on Instagram or any other social media handle, look at that camera and just tell the world.
Okay, so our website is bpfit.com. Instagram is at bpfitcoaching or at coach_Bradshaw4. I'm also on Twitter, which is bpfitcoaching, at bpfitcoaching.
Okay, cool. And
Hi, Gena. So I'm on Instagram at Gena Bishaw. It's GenaBshaw. And at Holistic HP. And then my website is holistichumanperformance.co. And you can literally find everything on there.
nah, it's dope. That's dope. It was a pleasure having you on the podcast.
Thanks so much.
I know I'm a bit much at times.
No.
Happy birthday. Oh.
This is a 10th year the business has been.
Oh, you're funny.
What? Really?
You're so
10-year anniversary.
She's too funny.
Yay!
She decided to do this live.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
This is a special
they
day.
See it. They see it. They see
Oh,
it.
that's so nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
10, what a
years
good
in
number.
business. Yeah, 10 years in business.
awesome.
March 5th is when I went to my attorney, Mr. Eugenia in Freeport, and turned it from a sole proprietorship to an S corp. So 10 years of provided music, everything we do, entertainment and clothing and everything else.
That's
Wise.
amazing.
This is incredible. What a
Yeah.
milestone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is a win.
It is a win. I mean, and when the millions come, I could look back at this moment, So, we always celebrate those things and everything else. Big shout out to Maria, the boss.
The boss lady.
Yeah, the boss herself. Shout out to the rest of the team,
Hey,
Rashawn.
Tim, if you're watching.
Yeah. Who else? What was Winnie, of course. Feel better. Melissa, Kasim, Janine, my daughters.
Your daughters.
Yeah, Giselle, Angelina, my mom, Daniela. Everybody is part of the family. You know what it is, man. Unscripted, we wear it proudly.
That's a nice
Thank you. Embroidered by us. So, with that being said, please remember, you are loved, you are appreciated, you are valued. You can do whatever you set your mind to. As long as you believe it, you can achieve it. This is the Unscripted Podcast. All talk. And we are out of here.
Bye.